Hey everyone, today we're diving into So Clover, a really clever and fun cooperative word game. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to get this game on your table and start playing right away. So let's just start with a quick puzzle. Have a look at these two words, sheep and clothing. If you had to connect them with just a single word, what would you pick? Coming up with answers to questions like that is the absolute heart of So Clover, and by the end of this, you're going to be a pro. So what are you trying to do in this game? Well, the objective is awesome and simple. This is a cooperative game, which means you're all on the same team. Your goal is to work together, figure out each other's secret keywords, and try to get the highest possible score as a group. Okay, so how do you get started? The setup is super fast. Seriously, you'll be up and running in just a minute or two. It's just 4 really quick steps. First, everybody gets a Clover board and a marker. Second, you're going to shuffle up the deck of keyword cards. Third, each player secretly draws 4 cards from that deck. And finally, you'll place those 4 cards randomly onto your board, but keep them hidden from everybody else. Once you're all set up, the game kicks off with its first phase, writing your clues. Now, this is something that everyone does at the same time, but it's an individual task you do in secret. The first thing you gotta understand is the idea of a pair. Because you placed your cards randomly, you've created 4 pairs of keywords. A pair is simply the 2 words that sit on either side of one of those blank spaces, which we call a clue zone. So, for each of your 4 pairs, your job is to think of a single word that connects them. Once you have it, you'll secretly write that one-word clue in the clue zone right between them. Of course, there are a few rules for your clues. A valid clue has to be just one word. It can be a proper noun, an acronym, or even a number, that's fine. But what's not allowed? Well, you can't use one of the keywords themselves. You can't use a word from the same family, like prince for princess, and sorry, no made-up words. For example, if your pair is house and firefighter, a perfect clue would be something like station. Okay, once everybody has written their 4 secret clues, the individual part is over, and it's time to start working as a team. This brings us right into phase 2, guessing the keywords. In this phase, one player becomes the spectator. This is the person whose clues the team is about to solve, and this is the most important rule for that player. You must remain absolutely silent. No hints, no gestures, no nothing. So here's how the guessing works. The spectator takes their 4 original cards, adds a 5th card from the deck, and shuffles them all together. These 5 cards are then revealed to the team. The rest of you have to discuss the clues and figure out which 4 of those 5 cards go on the board and where they go, and that 5th card is just there to make things a little more challenging. After the team decides on their answer and places the cards, the spectator reveals if they were right. So now let's talk about how your team scores points. After the team's first guess, there are really only 2 outcomes. You either get a perfect, which means every single card is exactly where it should be, or you get an error, which just means at least one of the cards is in the wrong spot. So, what's the big reward for getting a perfect score on the first try? Your team gets a grand total of 6 points. That's 1 point for each correct card, plus a nice 2-point bonus for being perfect. But what happens if you get an error? Hey, no problem. The spectator will simply take away any of the cards that were placed incorrectly, leaving the right ones on the board as a hint. The team then gets a second and final chance to solve the rest of the puzzle. Scoring on that second try is pretty straightforward. Your team scores 1 point for each card that's correctly placed at the end. Just keep in mind, there's no bonus for that second attempt. After the points are all tallied up, that round is over. Play then moves on. The player to the left of the spectator becomes the new spectator, and a whole new guessing phase begins with their board and their clues. You keep this pattern going, guessing and scoring, until every single person at the table has had their turn as the spectator. Once that final player's board is solved and scored, the game is over. Before you jump in, I want to leave you with a couple of quick tips, taken right out of the rulebook to help your team get an amazing score. First, when you're the one writing clues, try not to overthink it. The game's best advice is to just trust your gut and write down the first word that pops into your head. You might be really surprised how well your teammates can get on your wavelength. And for all you guessers out there, here's a really practical tip. As you're talking through the possibilities, physically move the keyword cards around on the Clover board. It helps everyone on the team see all the combinations and makes it way easier to agree on an answer. When the game's all done, it's time for the final, most satisfying step. Add up the total score from every single round, and proudly write your team's score in the record of legends. And that is really all there is to it. You now know everything you need to open up that box and start your very first game. You're officially ready to play So Clover.
So, the only question left is, will your team be able to beat its own high score?